Dance Kaleidoscope artistic director David Hochoy has never lacked a love for dance, yet the path he took to find it was a winding one, and setting the right course took both strength and self-discovery. Born into a poor Chinese family in Trinidad, West Indies, David knew from an early age that the way out was through education. At the age of 17, he left for McGill University in Toronto to study medicine. But friends and classmates recognized that he should be pursuing another avenue.
Everybody said that I should be in the theater because that's where my heart was. I thought to myself, well, there's no way I can do that because my parents would never agree to it. But somehow I found the courage to tell my father especially that I didn't really want to be a doctor. And once I opened that door, a lot of other doors opened for me.
One of those doors was a scholarship to Penn State University to study directing, where he quickly went out on a limb in order to secure an opportunity that would lead to his life in dance.
And that's when I started dancing because they were doing a production of Carousel. And they asked me if I could sing and dance, and I said, yes, of course I can. And I'd never taken a dance class in my life, but when I got into the studio, amazingly, I had a little bit of talent. And I loved it. I loved it from the first dance step that I took. And I realize now, looking back on my life, that I'd always really wanted to do it. I just never allowed myself to think that it was possible.
The promise of that possibility led David to fully commit to becoming a professional dancer at 20, an especially late age to begin such a pursuit.
I had a lot to discover, I had a lot to accomplish. I knew I had a great deal to overcome, and so I worked very, very hard. And having to work so hard really gave me really wonderful work habits. I'm very disciplined.
After finishing his master's degree, he moved to New York, began taking classes, and became part of the Martha Graham Dance Company. David quickly progressed under her tutelage and was later made a soloist. But it was his eventual position as rehearsal director that offered an intimate window into her work and ultimately broadened his world.
And those were incredible lessons in choreography. It was like sitting at the foot of a master. I really tried to get into her mind in order to see how she was feeling and what she was doing in order to explain it better to the dancers.
David traveled the world teaching the Graham technique and also spent 2 years as a full-time faculty member at Texas Christian University. It was in 1991 that he received a call from Indiana that would change the course of his life one more time.
Dance Kaleidoscope was advertising for an artistic director, and I came here and auditioned and liked everybody here, and they called me on the phone to tell me that they wanted me for the job, and so I moved to Indianapolis. I have to tell you that the first 5 years were very, very difficult because we were a very poor company, we were very much in debt. Some of those days were very discouraging. I think the thing that kept me going was the challenge of developing this company into something that was really, really good and excellent.
During his 22 years in Indianapolis, David has choreographed more than 40 DK productions, as well as pieces for several local organizations. His choreography developed a national presence as well, from the green shows at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival to work for the New York City Ballet.
Coming from the Martha Graham Dance Company, his vision was much more broad than just Indiana. I think he has a national vision, I think he has an international vision. He's brought lessons and he's brought knowledge with him that I don't think the arts community at large would have had otherwise.
Regardless of the venue, David places a priority on making his performances accessible to everyone, and he holds nothing back on delivery.
I feel that you should be able to walk off the street and be able to enjoy it and understand what it's about. I'm not the kind of artist that holds him or herself back. I'm not obtuse, I'm not intellectual. I am definitely Dionysian, and you know how I feel about something. There's always a moment in my works where I wear my passion on my sleeve. I'm able to say to the audience, you know what, I really feel strongly about this moment, and you're going to feel it right now.
His passion, work ethic, and giving nature has also had a profound effect on his dancers.
And it's just amazing how he continues to pump out piece after piece after piece, and then also in the classroom teach and give. And then he's got all the business aspects. How that man stays inspired is incredible to me.
He's a very wise person. I would say one of the biggest gifts that he's given me by far is the joy of learning, of constant learning.
I'd like to think that I impart some of Martha Graham's wisdom to never be satisfied with yourself, to always strive for something that is wonderful and beyond you, and always to be curious about what you can learn from anything or anybody. And I think those things are incredible life lessons for anybody.
For all his awards and successes, David sees even more to accomplish with Dance Kaleidoscope.
We still have much more outreach to do. We would love to be seen by a lot more people. We would like to be recognized by a lot more people. We would like a lot more people to come to our concerts. Having said that, I think we have a wonderful, faithful following that loves us passionately and is really, really enthralled by what it is that we do here in Indianapolis.
As he continues to think ambitiously about the future, he also finds pleasure in the place that welcomed him 22 years ago. Each has made an indelible mark on the other.
I consider myself to be a native Hoosier right now, because this is the longest I've ever lived in any place. And I love living here because I think I'm a member of the community. And I do think that my work has been influenced by living here. I think I'm a kinder, gentler person than the person that I was living in New York. And I think that shows in my work.